Happy Hump Day from Arkansas. It is our last day here. So we're kind of doing a cleanup. And I think I was the first one awake this morning. So I decided I'm going to come out here before the day gets too crazy and cars and the hustle and the bustle of loading up 15 people into 3 cars happens. And I thought I would just jump on and say morning to everybody and give today's conscious coffee to you all. So as I was sitting here trying to come up with a topic, because as many of you know, conscious coffee is not a planned topic. There is no script, there is no ideas, there is no nothing. I just get to my live stream and go, okay, God, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? So I was sitting here just skimming through some Facebook stuff and sipping on coffee and thinking about everything that I have to do for today's morning adventures. And then back to Dallas we go, and kicking into work and kicking into school stuff, because school's just a couple weeks away, and all the hustle and the bustle and the responsibility. And no matter how, there's a sign that says, just chill, because it's cabin life and stuff inside the cabin here. And it's true, even though there's been stressful moments, that's what vacations are about, right? Just kind of, no matter how long or short a vacation is, I do a lot of little vacations throughout the year. So I've discovered that I work best through life if I get a quick 3 to 5 day escape every 5, 6, 7 weeks or so. So that's what I do. That's just what I do. And then a couple long ones. Oh my goodness. Lots of little finches attacking me. But as I was sitting here and thinking about everything that needs to be done, I was like, just this like, oh my God, all this stuff has to come together, and all this planning and all the work that I've kind of just stepped away from over the last few days, outside of doing quick conscious coffee for everybody and posting a few pictures and responding to a few messages. Haven't really done a whole lot of work. And my work is what I want to do. My work is my passion. My work is what I feel is like my calling, my mission in life, the message that I cannot not say, I cannot not, let come out of me in this lifetime. So I can only imagine what it is like, because in truth, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. So I don't really fully have the understanding of the dread of, oh God, it's Monday, or yay, hump day, Wednesday, only a couple more days of the week to go, and then I can relax. Because to me, I write my own schedule. I write everything myself, and I don't have a whole lot on my table for the rest of the week, even with all the work that I have. But I was sitting here and I was thinking about, no matter what it is, whether it is dealing with our work or dealing with families, different relationships, our finances, our health, our anything, that, we have these regrets, and we prematurely have the regrets, and we feel the dread. And it's the regret of tomorrow. It's just this like, oh, I don't want tomorrow to come. Last night we were sitting out here and we were talking, and it kind of ended up weird. We were talking about cabin in the woods and all this horror stuff, and it was just dark, and all the frogs and the cicadas, they were just having, this competition, this singing competition here in the woods. And some people were going, oh, that's so irritating. I'm like, I actually find it kind of peaceful. And my daughter, she's like, I find it kind of eerie. And she's looking out, and there's just enough light that kind of went through the trees behind me here. And she's like, look, it's like one of those, it's a scene from, some movie. She's like, I was like, are you expecting zombies to pop out from the trees all of a sudden? She's like, or a bad guy, or this, or that. And we got all wrapped up and carried away on this tale. And I was sitting down on the wood decking, and she's like, Mom, you're gonna be the first to go because what if the bad guy has a knife and he stabs up through the woods, and it's just right into you. So she got herself all worked up about nothing, no reality, right? But she's sitting there and she actually got herself worked up into anxiety over this fictitious story that we were kind of just playing with because we were just talking about different things, right? So she got herself all worked up over that. And she, in the midst of it, she goes, oh, I just don't want to go back to work tomorrow. I don't want to go home because I don't want to have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to have to go back to my job. She's like, oh, I just don't want to have to do that. And I thought, that's interesting, because what? I'm like, I could stay here 4 more days, or that actually kind of sounds nice, like everybody leave and Mom stays at the cabin for 3-4 days. Oh my gosh, the creative things that I could get done. I could write a whole book in the time that, in 3 days alone here. But it really is that, that dread that she was feeling. There was this regret for tomorrow that she was expressing last night. And then the fake illusion story that she was painting, even though she knew that it wasn't a reality, she knew that the chances of something like that happening is about, well, it's microscopic, right? That stuff, it's not Hollywood set here. And I just got to thinking this morning, I was like, isn't that how we live our lives? Right there. Isn't that little 10-minute segment of my late night sitting out here listening to frogs and cicadas and just having a family powwow on the deck? Isn't that exactly how we live our lives? We live our lives just dreading going to work, dreading tomorrow, dreading all the stuff that we have to do that we don't really want to do, that we are not called to do. And we fear the illusion. We fear the stories that we paint ourselves, the fears that we tell ourselves, this Hollywood set that doesn't even exist, much like she did last night, and worked herself up into worry, anxiety, and just like, oh my gosh, we got to lock the house down. We do that, all of us do that with our lives in so many different ways, but we definitely do it when we are wanting to level up our life, when we are scared to take a step forward, when we are scared to change something, because as much as we might hate this thing that we're doing and dreading it, it is absolutely terrifying, like you're in the middle of a horror movie, right? Like you're in the middle of a horror movie, to change it, to commit to the change, the process. And what happens? The stories of ego, the stories of doubt, the stories of fear, the stories of worry, anxiety, all that stuff rises up inside of us. And it, much like my daughter running through the house last night, locking everything, it locks us down. It locks us down to our true potential. It locks us down to all the beauty and possibilities that we have in our life to create a magical story. Not a horror tale, but a magical story. So this morning I bring that little tidbit to you about, and I feel like this whole entire trip I've kind of been preaching and teaching on freedom and containment, on just really stepping in, on finding your happiness and moving toward that happiness. But here's the thing, as a coach who works with people who don't want to settle for average and ordinary anymore in their work, in their love, or in their life, in the businesses that they're building, it's so important to understand that all of this out here, it's out there. It's out there. And the reality that you're living, that's coming from here. That's coming from the pictures that you're painting for yourself. That whether you are choosing to buy into your doubts and your fears, or your hopes and your dreams, it is all up to you. It's up to what's going on in here and how you're feeling about it. And you could be like my daughter, who was sitting there and everything was groovy and fine, and then all of a sudden she gets it in her mind that, we're on a Hollywood set and I don't know, zombies are coming out of the woods and we're gonna end up dead. But and she had a really good plan. Like, okay, they'd enter from the downstairs, and they'd these people would go first, and this people. I mean, that was like really quite seriously a whole pegging off as to who was going to go first. You could live like that, into that detail of regretting tomorrow and regretting all this stuff and just wanting to back it up and go, no, I don't want to move. I don't want to move, to the point of paralyzing yourself. And this is what I see so many people do. Now, granted, the people that I'm working with, they're typically like, I'm done being paralyzed. I am so done with this shit of paralyzing myself. I need to break free because I can't breathe. I can't move anymore. Okay? Now, that's the people I work with. But anybody else out there, if you're like, oh, I think I'd really like to go do this. I think I'd really like to call in that lover into my life. I think I'd really like to take on that business opportunity. I think I really would like to change what my body looks like. I think that I really would like to change what my bank account looks like. I think that I really would like to realize that the only thing stopping you from where you're at and what you're wanting are the thoughts that you're thinking, how you're feeling about them, and the actions that you are taking or not taking. Because in choosing to not take an action, you are still making a choice. So you can sit there and go, I'm just not going to decide. I'm going to just see how this pans out. Well, that's you still making a choice. That's still you making a choice to just sit there and see what life hands over, instead of being responsible for what comes to you, taking action and responsibility for the thoughts that you're thinking, the feelings that you're having, and the actions that you are taking. Because every single thing that you do, whether it is an actual action or a lack of an action, has a reaction to it. Okay? So if you really want to have change, if you really want to develop something in your life, if you really want to call something in, you really want to change that shit up, then that is up to you to take the proper actions, have the proper thinking and the proper feeling about what you want. So that's, where is your focus? What are you putting your eye on and calling back in? If you're sitting there and you're worried and caught up and tight in the illusion, the fear of something that probably isn't going to happen, then what you're doing is you're trying to manifest what was not actually potentially there to create into creation. Because when you apply the focus to it, when you apply the thinking to it, when you wrap your emotion up in it, what you're doing is you're giving it power. You're causing a snowball effect to the creation of that thing. If you change your focus to something else and you focus on what you actually want, or you focus on, get this, just focus on happiness, just focus on joy, just focus on the feel good. And guess what? That regret, that anxiety, that fear, that worry, it cannot coincide with true happiness. It can't do it. So focus on what you actually are going for and not what you're fearing in anything. Because I can tell you what, if you live a life based in fearing of what could possibly be, then you're going to consistently regret tomorrow, and someday tomorrow will become yesterday, and you're still going to hold a massive amount of regrets. So I want to leave you with that note this morning. I'm going to ask you to look out at your life, look out at everything, and really truly just ask yourself, where am I sitting here in the illusion of fear? Where am I really regretting tomorrow prematurely here? What can I do to never regret tomorrow or yesterday or anything, and just take the steps that I need to take that will create the life that I want to make? Where am I choosing to maybe not make a choice, which is still a choice? Okay? Ask yourself those things. Get real with yourself. Find out what you really truly are wanting in your life by going internal, doing your inner work. And of course, if you ever need any help on the way, I'm here for you. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to take you on a quick little walk around the top deck just so you can see all the trees. So I'm going to take you on this little walk just because it is my last day here. And I did this sort of kind of on the front side, but oh, somebody's checking all my fluids in my car for me. And this is just the property. Some pretty good, nice, rich woods, huh? Okay, everybody, that's the woods, that's the property. I'm headed back to Dallas. And as always, you can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. And remember, stop existing, start living. I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.